Welcome everyone to another Vivit APM SIG event. We had one yesterday on the APM 9.4 release. If you missed it, and you're on the SIG, you'll receive a notice or you'll find the presentation there as well that talks about those products. Today's focus is on the Micro Focus SaaS APM, which is the AppPulse suite. So we're going to focus on what's new in that area and then go from there. Next slide. Thank you, Dorn. So today's SIG webinar is brought to you by Vivit. It's brought to you by the Vivit APM, or Application Performance Management SIG. This is a new SIG. It's a split between what used to be called the BSM SIG, and we created an APM SIG because now that's under the ADM world, and we also created the OpsBridge SIG. We'll focus on OpsBridge related technologies, which we do have an event scheduled for October 11th. So be on the lookout for that if you're focused in the enterprise monitoring world with the OpsBridge technology. My name is Rocky Pisto. I am the SIG leader. Jim Copio from Whitlock is also my, oh no, he's not the SIG leader for this one, but he is in that space as well. If you're not already a member, make sure you join Vivit as well as become connected to the APM SIG so that you get all the latest information on what's going on there, blogs. You want to share questions, concerns, answers, put them on the SIG page, and one of us will try to find the content relevant to what you need. Next slide, please. So today, this is our speakers. Again, I'm Rocky Pisto with the APM SIG. I'm been a leader for 16, 17, 18 years, both as a lug and now more in the virtual world as the SIG lead for some of our SIGs. Eva Margolius de Mauve, I'm great with pronunciation. She's a product manager at AppPulse. For AppPulse with Micro Focus, she'll be speaking today. Laurent, our Senior Worldwide Marketing Manager, helping coordinate our APM SIG events. Micro Focus, and Dorn Elkaras, also focused in the AppPulse space at Micro Focus. So those are the folks that are presenting today. And again, feel free to ask questions. Our whole goal for this SIG is to make sure that U.S. practitioners get what you need from the tools. Any concerns you have, whatever, we want to know what they are. We want to make sure that you're getting what you need to help grow your career in this space. In future events, we're planning, hopefully, to have customers present on their successes with the technology, with the latest versions, hopefully, or just share their experience of what it takes to make some of these things happen, as well as the integration of these tools with other areas. So if you're looking for some exposure into the community and you want to talk about your success stories and how you're using the tools, we'd love to have you on for one of these sessions. Just reach out to me and we'll make that happen. Next slide. Go to the next slide, that'd be great. There we go. So this is a live session that's being recorded. Recordings are available to all our Vivit members. And if you have a question for this session, just type it in the question panel. Next slide kind of shows you a picture of that. So let's go to the next, there we go. So here is an example of the panel. If you've attended our events, you've seen this over and over again. Type in your question. And if we can get to it today, we will. If not, it'll be part of the recorded session where we provide you with the recording of this event, as well as questions and answers. So you'll get that after in a couple of days. and we'll go from there. Next slide.
And I guess this is me, right, Rocky?
This is you, Doran. It's all yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Doran Karas. I'm managing the entire AppPulse suite. And but before we are going to walk you through AppPulse and what is our point of view and what we've done, and take you through the slides, would probably want to start explaining why you see here blue and Micro Focus versus the green box that you used to see from HP Enterprise. As some of you, all of you already heard, this week it became official and we became part of Micro Focus. Okay, this spin merge with Micro Focus is a great opportunity for our portfolio as the 7th largest software company in the world. This will help us to put a lot of focus only on software products. It's a great opportunity for all of us. We're really excited here to join to this combined new company. We are talking about 18,000 employees, 40,000 customers worldwide, a lot of big opportunities, so we are really, really excited. And with that said, let's shift gears and start going through our plans for today. We will discuss the first half of this session, discuss about the market disruptions as we see it, and just share with you what is our strategy to address this disruption that we see. And then we will share with you what was done in the past 6 months in order to address these disruptions and execute upon our strategy. At the end of this session, we also plan two small surprises. Hopefully you like it. We will discuss it later today, and then we will leave enough time for questions. As Rocky mentioned, during this session, feel free to add any questions to this chat box. We will try to address all of these questions or during the session or afterwards via mail. So, user experience is becoming more and more critical for the business. All business investment can be lost without good user experience, and it has a few immediate outcomes. Changing the relationship between the business and IT, this is the first impact. The second impact is the user experience criticality to success of any investment in digital transformation. And last, we believe that the business are looking for tighter control on the user experience monitoring capability because of these first two reasons. Now, it's not only us that see this. According to Gartner, delivering user experience with agile development teams, this is the name of the article, they see that the user experience is the perceived quality when the user is doing a work task. Now, when you think about it, when you pause and think about it for a second, what it actually means, the way that we see it, that it actually means that only problems that the end user perceives as a quality issue should be handled. We must focus on the client side. If I have a high CPU, for example, but there is no impact on the end user, find other issues to solve and give it a lower priority. Eventually, we are living in a world that we need to make tough choices on what to focus, and more important, what not to focus. And this is a key element in our strategy to provide you this visibility. Now, and we just got another sign on how critical user experience is. Last month, Google announced, probably some of you saw that apps with a bad user experience will get lower rank on the Play Store. Just think about critical apps in your organization. It requires huge amount of development and marketing investment, and only because poor user experience, the outcome can be devastated for your business. All this investment might lost with bad user experience and more. There will probably be a bad impact on the brand and other side effects that you would like to avoid. But there are more examples. By the way, it's take probably a second until you see the updated slide. So I will try to pause between one slide to another. So, but there are more examples of user experience impact on business results. Just look at Amazon. 1 second in Amazon per day costs $1.6 billion a year. Okay, every 100 milliseconds of latency costs 1% in sales. Just think about these numbers; they are enormous. As for Google, slowing Google's search results by less than half a sec leads to a loss of 8 million searches per day and millions of dollars. And it becomes more and more challenging since the user expectation keep climbing. Users expect that mobile app launch time will be less than 4 seconds and response time less than 2 seconds. And I guess the internet is full of these statistics that shows that these expectations keep climbing, and it makes everything much more complicated. But it's not that simple to provide supreme user experience. The end user expectation just keep climbing, and the backbone constantly becoming more and more complex. We identify a few key challenges. First one, acceleration of mobility and virtual agents. Amount of devices and interface between the business and the end user keep climbing. Just think about different mobile devices, virtual agents, bots. Every interaction between the business and the end user requires special attention. All the transition to the cloud, the way the business consumes the service is irrelevant to operations responsibility. They are still responsible for the service quality. The rise of digital user experience, shift monitoring importance from data center to end user. Now, I'll try to explain what does it mean. Data center metrics used to be the focus. The logic behind that was that if the data center works, we have good user experience. But this is no longer the case, as we just saw. Even Gartner claimed that. The fourth point, it's the complicated service architecture driven by modern technology. And the next point is constant service innovation, always changement, continuous development, faster release cycle. just increasing the risk. And change is a risk, not to mention that it makes everything much more complicated. So I'd like to discuss on our point of view for APM evolution to address these challenges. Expectation from operations team, extended from service assurance, performance, and availability to user experience. It is not enough to have up and running service. The user experience is the one that makes the difference. The second one is, in the past, the APM northbound was about delegate the issue to the app support. Now the expectations to have transparent and efficient path between the operations and the applications team. These teams become, you can see, even in every modern org structures, a lot of teams, the ops, apps team are sitting together. DevOps teams getting more, become more and more popular and get more and more responsibility. And the last one is the APM domain grew in the past year and expanded beyond the traditional world. Other teams in the business see the value of production data and use it to improve processes, get insight to the dev, product, and marketing. And on top of it, reduce MTTR by enable visibility to dev team and simpler isolation process. All of these reasons derive more and more requirements from the line of business. If the central IT is not aligned or work to provide it, the line of business will take the ownership of it from central IT. And we already see this trend. Now look at this bottom of this screen. You can see another quote from Gartner. According to them, 70% of APM budget will reside outside of traditional IT compared to only 20% today. One of our main investments this year was to help businesses to overcome these challenges and avoid from these painful processes by giving them the option to keep using their existing APM stack in conjunction with our modern APM suite, AppPulse. So line of business and key personas in the organization can get exactly what they need from the APM tools, while central IT can continue to work with the existing stack and processes and leverage their past investments. These challenges has a lot of new requirements from modern APM tools. Accountability for critical services that are not under the business control. New interface with end users. Modernization. New processes. DevOps. This is, I guess, the entire world is going to DevOps cycles. New technologies, Docker for instance, and more business insights. The business require more intuitive tool that in 2 clicks you know where to focus, decide whether to solve this problem or not, and if yes, how to solve this problem. Now think about, let's pause and think about it for a second. We believe that modern tools, modern APM tools need to analyze data for the users. The users, the line of, whether if it's a line of business, central IT, ops, doesn't really matter who is working with these tools. They are required to do more and more with less resources. And these gaps need to be addressed by our tools. and therefore we put a lot of focus building super intuitive tools. So you won't really need 6 months training in order to get up and running. All these tools are SaaS based, self-service, and the onboarding is less than 5 minutes. Once you start using it, it's very intuitive. Even users that never use these tools will be able to understand what they see and how to get to the root cause and understand the logic behind it. And the last point that I would like to talk about is TCO. And it's a bit relates to my previous point. It's also a question of TCO. But as for this, the expectation is to support all the above, everything that I mentioned, in lower cost. This requires, again, us to focus. We need to focus our customers need to understand where to focus. Focus, I guess, is the key thing in today's world. So, assuming all of the above, we've done a lot in the past 6 months in order to execute upon our plans, upon our point of view. And today we won't have time to walk through everything, but we will give you a glimpse of everything that was done. The slides that the content you are going to see is from the summer and spring release. We have like the annual seasons. We have 4 major releases in a year. So these are the last 2 releases. So the first thing that I would like to discuss with you is the latest announcement of the summer release that was just launched last month. To align our packaging with our point of view, we believe the focus should be on the end user, and we provide the most advanced tool in the world to measure everything and understand exactly on what and where to focus. And more important, what should not grab your focus, what should not grab your attention. But for those elements that should get your focus and should get improved, we decided to give Trace for free. Trace is our server-side monitoring tool, AppPulse Trace. We decided to give it for free for all our customers so they can do end-to-end problem isolation via seamless integration between the different AppPulse modules. In general, of course, the entire AppPulse suite was built from scratch. It's not a bunch of acquisitions tools that were meshed together. This is one of the things that we are very proud about. Everything was built from scratch, same look and feel, very tight integration. When you move from one module to another, the users probably won't even notice that to the switch. So I think this is one of there are not a lot of APM suites out there that were built from scratch. This, I believe, one of the few ones that are exist today in the market. In addition, we released AppPulse Web, real user monitoring tool. with actionable data to understand, triage, and isolate issues impacting most users. Again, as you can see, and of course, I encourage you to, after that session, just take a glimpse, take a free trial, just taste the water there. As you can see, through all the screenshots, everything is very clean, very intuitive. Give it a shot. The second thing that I mentioned is that we see that the world is shifting. There are more modern technologies that needs our attention, needs our support, and we constantly keep up with the latest and greatest in the market, whether it's single page applications and async transaction, or anything that you can think of that require our attention. And as I mentioned earlier, one of our goals is to build tools that are intuitive to the users. We always give it a shot, right? We build something. If it's not intuitive enough, we collect feedback from our customers, from users. By the way, if some of you would like to be also design partner, we will be more than happy to add you to that program. Okay, but we do constantly improve the user flows. So in less than 2-3 clicks, you can identify application issues, bottlenecks, and understand what caused to these issues. Another very interesting feature that we recently add is our sentiment analysis. We have an idle agent that scrolls through all the App Store, Google Play, through all the users' reviews, categorize them, understand whether if it's a negative or positive review, and we present all of this. So you will have another indication how the end user perceive your application. Okay, and more than that, you will be able to compare your application with other vendors, other tools in the market. Very cool technology. We got a lot of very positive feedback on that. Now, as I mentioned, we put a lot of focus on AppPulse integration with the rest of HP software, or shall I say now, Micro Focus integrations. Our integrations are the closest, the tightest, and the best integrations between the different tools in our business. And I will give you a few examples during the slide. This is all of this, by the way, as I said, just added in the summer and spring release. APM integration with AppPulse Active. We have a lot of APM customers already that happy with what they have and would like to keep using the tools that they have. And therefore, we have an integration between AppPulse Active and APM. So if line of business prefer to work with AppPulse Active and the central IT have their own processes, they're already used to this tool, they love the APM Classic, they can keep using it. We have a seamless integration between these two, so the central IT can continue to work on the classic tools, line of business or any other department in your organization can work with AppPulse Active. Existing customers, APM customers that wish to move to a SaaS, wish to move to AppPulse Active, of course, we have easier processes to transition these customers completely to AppPulse. Same idea also between RAM and AppPulse Mobile. RAM customers, on-prem customers that wish to enjoy from AppPulse Mobile functionality, okay, and see all this information in RAM, they will be able to do that. So the application team, the dev team, the DevOps team, application owner will be able to continue work on AppPulse Mobile. But if there is a problem, the app support, the central IT will be able to see it also on their existing tools, get all the details, and will be able to drill to AppPulse Mobile when needed. Now, as I said earlier, we do want to support in more and more DevOps processes. And it's not that easy in today's world. Just think about how many operating systems we have only for mobile. We have more than 700, by the way, if you didn't know that answer. Now, multiplied by the number of devices in the market. This is every permutation like this, device and operating system, needs to be tested. It's a very big number. Again, you don't have unlimited resources. You need to understand where to focus even when you develop your application. And it's super important to get insights from production to understand how your real user behave, on which devices, on which operating systems, where they're on which screens, on which user actions. All of this, it's a pure gold for the dev team, QA team. We have an integration between Mobile Center. This is our tool for mobile testing, okay, and AppPulse Mobile. So, for instance, if you would like to know your test coverage compared to production, you will be able to know that. If you would like to understand your Fundex, which is the score that we give to each and every application, and let you help our customers to improve, they will be able to see there, can see exactly what impact on the Fundex and be able to execute and improve the applications according to that. And again, we have a lot of OpsBridge customers that also would like to assure that every event that is generated in AppPulse, in generate, not by the way, only active, can be seen also in the bridge. So this is also any integration that we added, and customers can drill down to the specific instance, AppPulse instance from the bridge. Very neat integration. Now, I'm not sure how many of you heard about ALM Octane, but this is the next gen for ALM, QC in the past. again, the leading product in the market for QA. We have an integration, seamless integration between AppPulse and Octane. So once you find a problem in production, in one click, you will send, you can open a defect that will include all the information, okay, and send it to Octane, including drill back to AppPulse Mobile, including the device state, the logs, errors, everything that is available, all the relevant information that is available in AppPulse will be boxed, collected, and will be sent to Octane. Now, two things that I would like to encourage you, and afterwards I will open the bridge for some questions. First of all, as you can see, we still didn't update our URL here. It's still HPE, but you can go and redeem free AppPulse trial for all the modules, AppPulse Active, AppPulse Mobile, AppPulse Web, or AppPulse Trace. Give it a shot. You can learn more about it in the portal. A lot of very clear, intuitive videos. As I said, very easy to start with. And another very interesting offering that we've decided to give it for a try for the first time here in this session. In case you would like to get a free 360 assessment report on your mobile application, okay, just shoot an email to me or Liron Lichterman, is our product marketing manager. Shoot us an email with all the details, name of the app, contact person, and so on. We will build this report free of charge for you to help you understand what is working or not working on your application. Okay. Now, I think we can open the line for questions.
Thanks, Doran. Great, great job kind of bringing us up to date on where AppPulse is today and the integrations with Octane, with the Ops Bridge, and all those areas. I'd like to maybe down the road get into a more technical discussion on how this works, how the pieces actually work in a demo. That would be my wish down the road. But you know, we do have some questions. Not a lot, because I think you've explained it very thoroughly and with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. But you know, one of the questions is from one of your customers, is I'm an AppPulse active customer now. You stated that Trace is now bundled for free with the active users. Does that include existing customers?
Exactly.
And is there a limit to how many agents are included?
Yes. So, great questions. Thank you for bringing it up. So, all the monitored applications by AppPulse entitled for free Trace. I will not limit our customers in license. Okay. If you're an active customer, just open a support ticket, ask to redeem a Trace license, and you'll get it free of charge.
Great, great. Another question is, what do I need to order to integrate AppPulse Active with the on-premise APM? Excuse me.
Okay, this is another good question. So AppPulse Active is a combination of two. We provide the synthetic monitoring service via SaaS, and we also have a point of presence around the world that that can be charged, can be used. Okay, so as opposed to the on-prem product, which provide only synthetic monitoring. I believe that existing APM customers that wish to use AppPulse Active, we have pretty good promotions for these customers. Work with your account manager, sales manager. They will. It all depends exactly what exactly you need. If you need only, you need to use only the point of presence around the world. If you need to use only active synthetic monitoring tool without this point of presence, it's very varied from one demand to another. But we have a special offering for our existing install base.
Great, great. If there's other questions, this is a great time. We've got a captive audience. If you have questions about AppPulse or integrations with APM, whatever, now's a great time. We've got a few minutes left. Feel free to ask questions or just make statements, or if there's anyone that has some experience they want to share with our SIG, that would be great. We're open. Doran, do you have any other information you'd want to share with us that might be relevant to this group? Is there anything that you're looking to find out from our members that will help maybe guide you to support them better in the future?
Yeah. So Rocky, I have a question. This is Liron from the marketing. Yes. I want to kind of address here a question for the audience. We are starting to have more and more Vivits and communication together with you in order to create a good community and a good feedback loops between our customers and here in the factory, in the product itself. I would like to really learn what is the best content that we can provide you on your day-to-day work. What exactly can we do in order to make your life easier, to address your concerns, and so on and so forth. If the audience here can help us to focus on the right things, as just mentioned, focus. This is our first meeting, and I would like to hear and then plan ahead in order to provide the right content for you.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, and the way to reach out is either pop it in the question panel if it's quick, or if you want to send an email to Laurent or to me, we can make sure that this content gets back to Micro Focus so that we're providing you with the most valuable information we can to make sure you're getting the job done with the AppPulse tools or anything related to APM. So again, it's both ways. The more you put in, the more you get out. So I've never met anyone that has all the answers to everything that they want. And so I think it's important that if we can become that vehicle, that place between our customers, our partners, and Micro Focus to kind of come together. And Laurent, one of the things that I've always heard, we did a recent survey of our members, and one of the things that comes up all the time is it'd be great if there was a place where there are known issues that are stated with the tool or an integration or on a platform, and then what the fix is for it, whether it's the next version or next release or those kind of things. I think that's really important. It's something that I've always wished for the last 20 years, to be honest with you, so that when a customer is planning to go to the next version of the product, what are the gotchas before I try to make this work and find out that someone's already had a problem and there's been a fix for it, so I don't have to go through that myself. And I know that Vivit would be willing to host a page on our website to collect, known, I won't say defects, but known issues, and then try to, when they are fixed or when the resolution is provided, that we have that available so that they can go and check on that site, say, okay, looks like APM 9.4 had an issue with Linux, and here's how they, some version of Linux, and here's how they fixed that, or here was the patch. I think it would make life a lot easier. So that'd be great. So we've got some more, looks like we've got some more questions here. Let me see if I can drill down. So here's one. How does the agentless data collection work and overhead? And again, so I know Yaniv can help answer some of these too if we unmute him. But
no, so it's a very good question, a very important one. We see a lot of APM tools that on one hand help you to get visibility to how your users experience your applications, but on other hand has an impact on the app performance. Okay, and it's not an easy thing to do to build APM tools with minimal or no impact on app performance. And we did it with AppPulse. Two things. So we have the real user monitoring tools, AppPulse Web and AppPulse Mobile. In order to overcome this challenge, we collect only the relevant information for the specific transaction. Okay, and we are so proud that our overhead is minimal, is neglected, that we even show it in the product itself. We have a section for resources so that you can see what is the battery usage or the SDK concept, the data usage, with all the SDKs, including ours. Okay, we're completely transparent with our customers, and you can see there exactly what is the overhead of AppPulse. As for and this is for the real user monitoring. As for the synthetic monitoring, of course, this is not intrusive tool at all. It's just a robot that play a transaction every few minutes to get a better visibility on the app performance. And all of this, by the way, we have a very clear online help that you can use. All of this information is available there, and you can see the exact number there.
So, Dror, if I may just, jump in, it is interesting. We can share, I think, with the audience here the feedback that we got from one of our customers regarding using our tool in order to understand the overall of the different SDK that he's using in his mobile. So one of our customers, that I cannot say his name, using in the mobile development, using a lot of SDKs in order to consume and to reuse public libraries. And he figured it out that this SDK itself consuming a huge amount of his battery and the CPU resources. So he's using our tool in order to better understand who is consuming his CPU and so on and so forth. So we've been considered as the one that kind of guiding and giving him the right way and the focus where to fine tune his SDKs and applications. So this is a good case that we are working on, and we're going to share it soon.
Great. Thanks, Lauren. Another question. Does AppPulse provide a combination of cloud as well as on-premise probes to run the monitors?
Okay. So we have AppPulse is a SaaS-based application. So we have trace agents that are installed on the application server. Now, we do going to, this is something that we definitely plan, is to expand and have a global presence. So in case customers would like the data to reside in specific country, we will be able to provide this soon, I hope.
Okay. Good. Another question. Second, support for ViewGen scripts, support Selenium scripts, or would this be real-time web traffic monitoring?
So Selenium is currently available only through our private location, not through our public locations. Again, I hope that it will be changed in the next releases.
Okay. Another question here. Is there a plan to add AppPulse active agents in additional locations around the world, such as South America and more locations in India?
So this is a very good question. I think that we have presence already in South America and Mumbai. I agree that it's not enough. We are giving the option for our customers to work with to be able to create their own locations around the world on Amazon, Azure, local partners, or alternately, we're constantly working with our partners around the world to provide this service on top of the locations that we already have.
Okay, great. If there's any other questions, it's now or never. Like I said, we've got just a couple of minutes.
You have my email here, and you have Liron's email. You can always reach out
right.
after.
No, that'll be great. Appreciate everyone's time today. Appreciate the questions from our customers, from our members, because again, you guys are what make this happen. And having Vivit as the vehicle to kind of bring the two together has been key for the last 23 years. And we will continue to do that as we evolve as the Micro Focus independent user group authorized for Micro Focus software. So just a couple of notes here at the end. Doran talked about this new company called Micro Focus. Well, there's a tour called Discover the New World Tour, or Discover the New Tour. And it's, if there's a location on this slide that is close to you, you might want to go and check it out, especially for customers to want to find out, what's going on with their technologies that they have today. I know that there's been questions because sometimes when you have a merger of some sort, there's other tools, and who gets what tools will be selected. So you might be to your advantage to attend one of these events. And this is just the current list. There might be more down the road, but top Micro Focus executives are going from city to city to spread the news of this new company that we're all kind of looking forward to, that a company that's focused in software only, and been wanting that for a long time. Next slide. And still, for folks, those of you that have security organizations within your company, it may not be part of your domain within the APM or ITOM suite, but if you've got folks in security, this is the big event for Micro Focus security. It's called Protect, and it will be held in DC again this year. That's where security is focused in. So I've been to one of these events in the past. It's a great event to attend. So I would encourage you to pass this on to your teammates within your organizations. And it's a little late now, but it's coming up next week. It's still drivable if it's not rained out. But so plan on that. And I'm not sure if there's one more slide or not. It might be just the closing slide. Oh yeah. So, and for those of you in the ADM space, or if you've got team members that are in the quote unquote Mercury testing tool environment, two major events coming for ADM, one in Vegas and one in New York. They're both next week. Again, if you've got folks in these areas, great place to get all they need to know about the ADM and where it's going, and that kind of thing. I know that Vivit's hosting some events as well, so watch us on our community calendar for events in this space as well. And I think there might be just one more slide. There it is. So, take the survey at the end. Here's a link to the SaaS Micro Focus space. I think it's going to be a while before we see all the HPE content disappear, if ever. I think I'm still seeing OpenView on some of our marketing stuff, but you can go to the Vivit website, go to the SaaS website for Micro Focus, and please fill out the survey so that we can bring you content in the next quarterly event that is relevant to you. And again, I would encourage, what most of our members love to hear is real world experience, what other customers have done with the technology, how they've made it work. Doesn't have to be anything about your company, your industry. All we care about is how to make the tool work efficiently so that we can all learn from each other. And with that, again, I want to thank the Micro Focus team for planning and being part of this call. And I want to thank all the end users for attending and partners. And until next time, have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.